Hey, and welcome back. We are live here at Fan of Lamb, and we could not be more excited to be in the kitchen cooking alongside you. This is our first time meeting. So nice to meet you. I am Joel Gamron. I'm the head chef of Homemade. I'm a Lambassador. I am here to geek out about all things American lamb. That is what this community is for. We share notes, recipes, ideas, techniques, and we take on American lamb with gusto. This is just such an unbelievable, versatile, gorgeous piece of meat that we all need to be cooking and finding to our dinner tables, our lunch, everything. And today is no different. We are going to celebrate summer grilling with Father's Day around the corner. I am a father, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and about how I cook for my kids and how they cook for me and all this good stuff, and how you can celebrate the dad in your life or just get outside and cook over an open fire, and how much American lamb shines in that setting. What makes this cool, if this is the first time you've ever joined us here at Homemade Live, is that it's interactive. You can talk to me in real time. You can talk to each other. Again, that's why we all get to hang out. It's almost like we're all in the kitchen together, just kind of gathered, gabbing, hanging, the whole thing. And the way you do that is you actually just type it in the chat. And today our chat moderator is none other than our culinary producer, recipe developer, chef extraordinaire, Meg. Hey, Meg.
Yo, what up, what up?
Yo, what up, what up?
I was just thinking about, you know how much I love lamb.
Dude, no one cooks more lamb in my life than Meg. Meg, yeah.
When I text LOL, lots of lamb. That's what I'm saying.
LOL to you means lots of lamb. I love that. I love that. And, I think it's safe to say, and I know it's, everyone here loves lamb, but it's important that when we buy lamb, we really take that extra step and we kind of notice where it's coming from and really support lamb that is grown here, domestically raised here with our ranchers. Some people know this, but 9 out of 10 of the ranchers that raise these beautiful animals for us, these are family farms. These are small, local farms. We have to support them, right? So track down that American lamb wherever you are, whether it's the grocery store, the farmer's market. Buying local lamb is what we are all about here. And we'll talk about why, the flavor. Obviously, there's an unbelievable impact in terms of sustainability, so we want to support local lamb. This recipe is really cool because we're going to do a grilled leg of lamb. And I think when people think of leg of lamb, they think like roasted. It's this big moment. It's like you carry it out on a big tray and then you slice it. And we're going to treat this leg of lamb almost like a steak. You're going to learn how to cook a leg of lamb in honestly under 10 minutes. And once you learn how to eat and how to cook and prepare a leg of lamb like this, it kind of changes the way that you not only just look at the leg of lamb, but so many other cuts. By the way, I do want to ask, and Meg, what is your favorite piece of lamb to grill? Do you have like a favorite? Because this is topping my list, the grilled leg of lamb, but what's yours?
Gosh, I think it might be this. I love getting that. It really takes a char,
Yes,
the leg
it
of
takes
lamb.
on the char.
And then the leftovers are amazing too. Like it's thinly sliced for sandwiches and just like poolside moment,
It's
whatever.
insane. It's insane. So we're going to marinate this. This is a hot honey leg of lamb. By the way, put it in the chat what you like to grill when it comes to American lamb. We're going to take on our leg of lamb in a second, but the first thing we're going to do is prepare this marinade. And so what is the point of a marinade? Like, can I just ask you that, Meg? Like, I think people think marinade is for flavor. Like, I make a marinade and it makes whatever I'm marinating taste better. Do you agree with that or not?
I do. But there's, the tenderizing element. That is huge, especially with a cut like this.
That's right. So people need to understand that a marinade is not just there for flavor, it's there for function, okay? Meaning it makes meats more tender. It breaks down the muscle and it allows it so you're not chewing forever like bubble gum. And it allows to obviously just make it a little bit more supple and more toothsome. So it's nice to inject it with flavor, but honestly, if all you did was rub your leg of lamb with yogurt or a little bit of lemon. That acid would kind of break down the muscle, and it would make it incredibly, beautifully delicate. So we're going to make a quick little marinade. This is so easy. Again, perfect to celebrate Father's Day and summer grilling. We're going to start with a lot of garlic because we all know that American lamb and garlic is like the best combo of all time. So we're going to smash open some garlic. I just kind of take the cloves apart. Whenever you have garlic that kind of sticks to its little shell, its little casing there, that's actually a really good sign. That means it's fresh garlic. So just smashing these up. And again, I want 6 cloves, okay? So I take my knife, give it a kind of a light smash. I'm not smashing it as hard as I can, just kind of busting it open. And the other day I had this debate on live TV, by the way, okay? On NBC, let me just say that, about garlic. Does anyone know what garlic is? Hot take. What is garlic? Do you know what it is, Meg?
Garlic in a jar? Is that?
Fine, yes, that's what it is. If you buy garlic that is already chopped in a jar, suspended in, I think, oil. I haven't bought it.
I don't know. Is it a brine?
Is it a brine? It's not a
some
brine.
sort of.
It's not pickled.
Third liquid. Yeah.
Bottom line is, you're doing a disservice. I'll just call it right there. Your garlic, I've had garlic before. It's been a while, but it's just so muted. It just doesn't have that like spicy, pungent punch that fresh garlic really takes on. And I know it takes a minute, you know, it just took me a minute, blabbering on, to peel the garlic, but it's so worth it, okay? Just take the time, buy a head of garlic, crack them open, you can do this. And I'm gonna take this garlic, and I'm just gonna chop it up pretty fine. Now when I chop, I kind of put my hand on the board. See how my wrist is on the board? It's not up here like chopping like this. I'm not even rocking like this. A lot of people do this. You want to make sure your wrist is down on the actual board itself. All right, that's the safest way. And we just want to kind of bust this up. We're not going to make a paste. Sometimes I like to add a little salt to this and really bust it down. But just a nice chopped garlic. How are we doing in the chat? What did people say their favorite cuts were to grill?
Nancy loves grilled lamb sausages.
Oh, Nancy,
Come
I
on.
love you. That is such a great call. That is
I feel
such
like
a good call.
A lamb currywurst would be really good.
The which one?
Lamb currywurst.
Ooh.
Like a little warm
Ooh.
and
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I think lamb has just this unbelievable balance of fat to flesh ratio, and it just hits every time. And when it comes to sausage or burgers, lamb to me just has that sweet flavor that we all love. All right, so I've got some garlic in here. I'm gonna add some chili flakes to that. And then I've got a little bit of red wine vinegar. Again, that red wine vinegar, just that little bit, right, is going to really help break down the lamb. And we're gonna talk about the lamb leg and why you'd wanna break it down. And then we're gonna add in some hot honey. What is hot honey? If you're not familiar, it's a very trendy food. I'd say in the past 5 to 10 years, it's become really popular because people are putting it on pepperoni pizza. That is what made it popular. Am I wrong? That is why people know hot honey. Am I right or wrong? I think I'm right.
I think you're right. I think that's, yeah, I do that now.
I didn't really know about it before people started doing this, but basically pepperoni pizza was coming out of the oven and people were drizzling it with hot honey. Hot honey is honey infused with chili flakes. So it's just spicy honey. And it works really great in pepperoni. But as we all know, because a lot of us grew up with it, and it's classic, lamb with mint jelly, lamb with anything sweet is perfect. It's unlike any other protein out there. So when you think about hot honey, it fits that profile beautifully. All right, so I mix this honey in, kind of break it down, and at this point, you have this sticky, garlicky, spicy, pungent little bath that we're gonna just add our lamb into. You can also, if you want, this is also a nice little add on, is we have some rosemary. Totally optional, but I just kind of break that off the stem. I'm gonna show you how I do that again. So I take the rosemary from the top like this, I kind of hold it up, and then I just strip it down and take all the leaves off. And if you want, you can give it a little chop, but honestly, just nice whole rosemary on there is beautiful. Oh, this smells so good. This could be thyme. This could be so many different things. All right. So our little marinade is good. One thing I want to call out with this rosemary, can we get in close here, Richard? Rosemary stems, don't throw them away. They're awesome. You can use them, especially when they're much longer than this, as a skewer for your lamb. So you could put your lamb on here like a skewer, grill it, and you have like flavor from the inside of the rosemary just emanating into the lamb. I like to kind of cut the edges like this just a little bit, almost sharpen them, right, like a little arrow, and that just helps you get it through the lamb. But man, rosemary skewers are some of my favorite things in the world. All right, marinade done. Let's talk about this leg of lamb. First thing I want to just acknowledge, I want us all to acknowledge, because we're a fan of lamb, right? We're all here, we're all together. When you see a cut of lamb come at you, and it looks like this, I don't care what cut it is, but it comes out of the package, and it's just big, and you don't know what to do with it. You're just like, this is a lot. It's just a lot of anything. In cooking, few ingredients are this big, and it's intimidating, and it's scary, and you think, I'm not a butcher. I don't know what I'm doing. Why did I go buy this whole leg of lamb? You can do this. This is going to take no time. You do not need to be a chef. You do not need to be a butcher. You can take a gorgeous piece of American lamb, and you can make it your own. And you can tackle this one piece at a time. This is so easy. Now, again, a leg of lamb, typically, if I open it up like this, has a bone in it, kind of running through it. I'm going to kind of twist it this way. So it has a big bone running through it. So this is butterflied off the bone. So that's why it comes like this, right? Usually there's a bone coming through it. And my butcher, or you can do this at the grocery store, just took the bone out. Okay? And this is what you're left with. This is a deboned leg of lamb. Maybe one of the best ingredients you could find in cooking. It is absolutely marbled, just studded with gorgeous, sweet lamb fat. It's got unbelievable intermuscular tissue, which allows it to be meaty and robust. This is a cut you want to be best friends with, and we're going to show you how to do that right now. Meg, did you have a comment or thought?
I just have, of course, we encourage you to familiarize yourself with the lamb, but the butcher is your friend too.
Yes.
You know, that's who you can ask to prepare this for you. That's who you ask, is this American lamb? Where, like, can you order it for me? They're like the friendliest people.
They're the nicest people, and let me tell you, because I actually am friends with a lot of butchers, they want to talk to you. They're not, they geek out about cooking gorgeous lamb just the way that we do, right? I'm a fan of them. There's a lot of butchers that are part of this community. They want to talk. They want to tell you what to do with this. You can grind this into burgers, make this meatballs. You can make a ragu out of it. But people don't realize that you can grill a leg of lamb like you grill a steak. And this is exactly why you're here, is to kind of get those light bulb moments. So we have this leg of lamb. I'm turning it fat side onto my cutting board. And when you open it up, again, it just feels a little bit intimidating. But when you look at a cut of meat like this, you can kind of see, and it's kind of telling you where to cut it and where to separate it. And we want to kind of cut this into steaks or bite-sized pieces. Not bite-sized, but kind of bigger slabs. So you can see like right here, right? And maybe we go to a top-down, Richard, here. But right here, there's like one big piece kind of off to the side. There's another kind of flap on top. You see this piece right here and this piece right here. So automatically, I kind of want to quarter this. So I'm just going to use my knife and just kind of separate these 4 quarters. You can see just a nice smooth cut, and you've got 4 big pieces. Look in my eyes, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you cut a little bit more than I did, or made this 3 pieces or 2 pieces, you're going to survive, and the lamb is going to taste awesome. So don't feel like it has to be these 4 pieces. Just cut the lamb where it's kind of naturally falling apart, okay? And then you grab one of these pieces and you kind of do the same thing. It's like if I was gonna make a steak, how would I make that steak? So this looks like a nice little portion right here. This looks like a steak right here. And you just kind of separate it by looking at it. This is cooking, right? This is by feel, right? If you have a big piece like this, use the edge of your knife, just the top, just the tip of it, kind of open it up a little bit so it flattens out, right? Just like this, like a little book, and cut that into steaks, right? And we're gonna talk a little bit about trimming some of this too. So some of this has what we call silver skin or some extra fat on here, which is absolutely phenomenal tasting, but sometimes when you have a little bit too much, it can kind of overwhelm the cut. So it's nice to kind of trim a little bit off. So if you have a little fat like this, Richard, I don't know if you can get on here, but you see this little piece right here? There you go, that's beautiful. Let me move this out of the way so you guys get a full view of this. But you can just kind of slice that off, right? Save this, freeze this, and again, you can grind this into burgers or meatballs, or you could just put it in a little pan with a little bit of water, and you'll kind of render it, and you'll have beautiful lamb fat. If you want to trim some of this silver skin, this one's pretty trim, but you can always get in there and kind of put your knife through where there's kind of, you know, a little bit more fattier pieces, and you just kind of take up this slab like this. You can kind of trim this lamb. Again, this one's looking really nice. And if this is not comfortable for you and you don't want to trim the fat, again, talk to your butcher. They would love to do that for you. Meg, anything to add here? How are we doing?
I was just thinking about, you know, you said if you cut a little too much, it's okay. This, you know, you cut small pieces, you throw them in your broth bag, or you save them for a stew later. You know, pop them in the freezer. Freezer's your friend.
The freezer is so your friend. And if you don't know what to do with something, don't tackle it at that moment. Just freeze it. It'll be good to go. All right, look at this fat right here. So let's say I wanted to remove this fat. I take my knife, and again, I like a boning knife for this. These like kind of flimsy, not flimsy, but flexible knives. And I kind of run it through my lamb fat, and I kind of cut it, and then I put my knife back through, and I go the other way. And you can always turn it and go again. And this is just a little bit of lamb trim. Super easy. At first, this is going to feel a little bit different. You might cut a little bit into the meat, but then you'll get really used to it, and it's really satisfying and soothing. And you have this beautiful, just gorgeous cut. This is what we got, guys. This is what cooking is all about. So I'll do one more here. I'm going to kind of cut it down the middle, and I'm just kind of getting into these big, gorgeous hunks. Look at this. That is a steak anyone is going to love. And that's what it is. It's like a nice, beautiful steak, lamb steak at this point, that you can throw on the grill and cook in a jiffy. Now, when you think about a lamb leg, okay, these are sheep that are standing up all day. They're grazing on grass, super muscular, very strong, these legs. So that means that this cut is extremely muscular, very strong, which typically means you need to braise it, cook it for a long period of time so we can chew it, and it's nice to eat. But if you marinate it, it breaks it down similar, like we've talked about. So what I'm going to do is take this honey kind of vinegar mixture, and I'm going to put my lamb steaks in here. And just kind of massage the rosemary in there, all that gorgeous red wine vin, and just kind of mess it all around. I'm going to put all this in here. This looks great. You don't need a ton of marinade, right? This is more about the lamb than anything else. When you get gorgeous, good local lamb, nothing's better. You don't need to add a ton of ingredients to it. Just a little vinegar, a little garlic, just to kind of break it down. Look at this. I mean, you just know that's going to be good, and it smells incredible. How are we doing in the chat? Is everyone understanding kind of how to take down one of those boneless lamb legs? How are we doing?
I think everyone was mesmerized by that display.
Really?
Yeah. It was
kind of
really
cool,
important.
right? I don't know. There's something, I understand butchers, and I think once you start cutting your own lamb and you kind of start experimenting, you'll get it too. It's very soothing, very meditative. So this lamb itself needs a long time. It needs 12 to 24 hours to let the marinade do its thing and really make this meat supple, beautiful. So go put it in the fridge, put a little plastic wrap over the top of it, and you'll be good to go. And what you'll see is the lamb will turn color, like this. Richard, maybe we can show what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. So you can see it almost looks a little bit grayer, almost like it cured a little bit, it cooked a little bit. Some juices came out, which is awesome. So there you go. We've got this lamb that's been here for about 12, 24 hours, and it's gorgeous. So my next step here is I'm going to wash my hands. Any questions on the marinating of the lamb? Any of that? Are we doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing great.
Okay, great. All right, so what we're going to do, our next step is we're going to grill this lamb. We're just going to get it going. So I've had grill grates on the heat now for all of class. It's been 20 minutes. This has been on the whole time. About a 5 out of 10, okay? So about halfway. But because it's been on for so long, it's really even. You can absolutely do this outdoors. We're just inside right now, so it's totally up to you, but it doesn't need to be blaring hot, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and just crust these gorgeous lamb leg. I wanna say steaks, that's really what they are. And I wanna lay them down. It doesn't matter if it's fat side or flesh side down first, right on that grill. And hopefully you're getting a little bit of that soundtrack. It sounds amazing, and immediately you get that smell. I'm gonna make one more, space for one more here. Let's do this guy. Beautiful. Literally right off the bat, you get the honey, the lamb fat. It smells so good. Meg, I might need a little bit of soap back here when you get a chance. So, lamb is grilling. It is doing its thing. You'll notice I'm not like engulfed in smoke. It's not in my face. It's at a nice controlled pace. And every minute or so, I want to turn it. Thank you, Meg. Just ran out of soap. We got some more. Give my hands a good wash. And we are off and running. So the lamb is doing its thing, and I always tell people, especially guys, because guys love to play with the tongs. They see a piece of meat, and they just poke and prod it all day. The key is to kind of really let this caramelize, right? The honey, all that kind of needs to do its thing. So again, every minute you can give it a turn, but you don't have to turn it or keep looking at it, you know, much more than that. So it's been about a minute. Look at the color on there already. Look at this. It's been literally a minute. Look at this. Stunning.
Oh, Joel, I wanted to let you know that we actually have a sheep farmer in the chat. Kate in the chat has a small sheep farm in New York.
What?
A sheep farm.
Kate has a sheep farm?
In the chat.
All right, Kate, drop us, what are the name of these sheep? I don't know, and how many do you have? That's so cool. I know sometimes every once in a while we get some farmers, some ranchers on. That is awesome. This is, you know, again, this is what it's all about. When you're grilling lamb and you're outside, whether it's Father's Day or not, it's amazing. All right, this is doing its thing. I do want to call out Lamb Jam. For those of you who are in Seattle or in the Pacific Northwest area, or just looking for an excuse to get over here, is on July 30th. Okay, Lamb Jam is this party where we bring in some of the best chefs in the area. We make drinks, there's music, and everyone gathers around their love for American lamb. I will be there in person. Our entire homemade team is showing up. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Again, that is July 30th, and you get 20% off your ticket if you use the code HOMEMADE20. HOMEMADE20, 20% off. Come hang out with me, eat some amazing American lamb. You guys will love it. We'll keep talking about that because the lamb jam's for real. All right, one thing that you can do at home if you have it is grab something heavy and just kind of press down these little legs of lamb. Because they're all kind of different shapes, it's nice to kind of give them some consistent weight so they're all touching the griddle at different points. So let's just recap what we did. The first thing we did is we made a marinade, a little bit of vinegar, garlic, a little bit of hot honey, some chili flakes, just a little extra heat. We then took our leg of lamb. It was boneless. We had our butcher do that. And we kind of just cut it into different kind of steak-like slabs. We trimmed a little bit of the lamb fat off where we saw it, and then we marinated it for about 12 to 24 hours and put it on a medium-high grill. And that's where we are now. We're kind of flipping it every 1 to 2 minutes. Beautiful. All right, we just wanted to show you real quick a fun little demo. If you can't find hot honey, which some places can't, really, really simple. Grab a pan, turn it on a medium-high heat, so about a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Turn that on high and get the honey almost boiling like this. Richard, maybe, maybe we could show you what that looks like. Beautiful. See how it's kind of boiling? And then what you do is you add in a little bit of chili flakes, pinch of salt, and that's it. You literally take it off the heat, just like that. And at the very end, we add a splash of vinegar. This could be white wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar. It just kind of mellows everything out. And then just let that cool, and you've just made hot honey in less than 30 seconds. Pretty easy. All right, let's give this lamb another little flippy poo. How are we doing?
Doing awesome. I have a question. Do you have any tips when it comes to controlling the heat on your grill?
When it comes to what on the grill?
Controlling the heat.
Controlling the heat.
Yeah.
I have a couple of tips. And are you talking, like, I wonder if that's more of an outdoor question or an indoor question.
I think more outdoor.
More outdoor. Like, okay. The first tip I have about controlling the grill is when you set up your grill, and no one does this, you have to do this. You take all your charcoal, you light it like normal, but then you push all of it to one side. So one side is like super hot, it has all the charcoal. The other side has no charcoal, all right? Then you can add a couple of briquettes, a little bit of that charcoal on the other side if you want, but you basically have a very hot section and a very cold section. And you can move the lamb around as you need it. Does it need a little bit more color? Bring it to the hot section. Does it just need a little bit of that smoke and just a little bit of that residual heat? Bring it over to the cold section. Some people like 3 sections, medium, no heat, and lots of heat. Totally up to you. So that's 1. 2, I always have a squirt bottle, like, as in like Windex, obviously not Windex, but a squirt bottle, a spray bottle filled with water. So if I see smoke or flare-ups, anything, I just pss, 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 and it just kills the heat. So those are 2 really, really good tips. What about you, Meg? Anything to add on top of that?
Well, it doesn't have to do with heat, but I love using a headlamp when I grill.
The which one?
A headlamp.
A
so
headlamp.
I can like really see everything.
That is so
That's my tip.
smart. I'm stealing that. That's such a good idea. It's true. I mean, when you're outside, it's 8 o'clock, it's those summer nights, all of a sudden you're like, is that brown? I can't really tell. It's in like a dark grill. That's so smart, Meg. All right, so we've been flipping that around. We made a quick little hot honey. We figured since it's Father's Day, this is totally optional, but we wanted to show you how to kind of turn this gorgeous, just hot honey leg of lamb into another dish, into a sandwich. What would you serve on the side of this? You could do crispy potatoes, couscous, a gorgeous pasta salad, tons of veg, grilled broccolini. There's so many things that you could just serve up next to this. But we thought it'd be fun to throw it into a sandwich because I don't know. When I think about dads, what I want something handheld. That's me. So we're going to bring over a couple little things here. But how would you guys serve it? And we'll show you guys what this looks like. But tell me, Besides just slicing and eating it, which would be amazing, how would you kind of bring this through? I'd love to know in the chat. What else are there any questions or comments in the chat, Meg, that we should hit?
Not right now. We're gonna wait for those ideas to come through, what they're serving it with. But if I'm cooking this, I'm telling everyone to bring the sides. You know?
You're what?
I'm gonna focus. If I was cooking this, I'm having everyone else bring the sides. You know?
I mean, that's kind of the way to go.
I'm just gonna be the grill master.
You do the lamb part. Let everyone else kind of do the sides. I'm with you, guys. I'm just kind of continue to flip this. Look at this. Look how gorgeous. Look at that. I don't know if we can get close there. The color is starting to really caramelize, really get dark. Okay, so see this one? That looks great. It's exactly where I want it, but I don't want it any more than that, or else it's going to be too charred. So I might move that off to the side, as if like the cooler coals are over there. This one could use a little extra, so I'm going to put it in the hot spot. And I'm just kind of moving the lamb as I see it, right? And just kind of keeping an eye the whole time. All right, this sandwich is so simple. We got a little baguette, all right? And we're gonna just throw this on the grill next to our lamb, just to kind of lightly toast it. The lamb fat is now covering the grill. So no need to add olive oil to this, nothing. You want that gorgeous local lamb fat just soaking into this bread. That is gonna be amazing. And then we've got a couple of other ingredients. We've got some mayonnaise. Just grab your favorite mayo brand. And we've got some green onions. So I'm going to take these green onions, and I'm just going to go after the tops. And I'm going to cut this pretty fine. Really simple. And I want a lot of them. I want to almost chew these green onions as I'm eating this sauce. So here's our green onions, our little scallions, and they're going to go right in to our mayo. If you're not a mayo fan, which for a long time I wasn't, yogurt would be awesome. Here, a little pepper. So don't fry away from the yogurt. So I'm adding a little bit of scallion here. Check that out. Really simple. Added a little salt and pepper. And now some lime zest and a little bit of lime juice. I'm going to do the zest of one lime. That looks great. And just some juice, just to kind of help it pop right in there. Beautiful. All right. And by the way, if you need help juicing your limes, sometimes these limes nowadays, they're so dry, they're hard to get all the juice out. Put them in your tongs like this. Richard, maybe, there we go. And then you can kind of squeeze your tongs together, and it'll get every last bit of juice out. Nice shot, Richard. That looks beautiful. All right. So we've got this limey, kind of savory scallion slather here. And then I've got some roasted bell peppers. You can get these already in a jar. You can do them on your grill yourself. These are awesome. Okay. And then last but not least, Karina, one of our amazing account managers here at Homemade. She grew her own lettuce and brought it to work, because that's what we do at Homemade. So we have some great local lettuce to go with our local lamb. This is just beautiful red leaf. I don't know. You can taste when someone, like fresh lettuce, right? Everyone always asks me, if you were going to grow one thing in your garden for the summer, what would it be? Always lettuce. I don't use enough herbs to make a case for herbs. Lettuce all day. All right, let's do one more flip with this lamb. Oh, I mean, at this point, this is just caramelized. Look at this. It's unreal. So the question then becomes, well, how do you know when it's done? So whenever it comes to lamb, and this is always important, you want to temp it out. Okay, 145 degrees is what you're looking for, Fahrenheit. So it goes right in the middle, and that's going to give you that perfect little rosy, pink, gorgeous. These need a little bit longer, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through it. This needs about probably another 2 minutes of babysitting it. But we did, of course, make some ahead of time. Where is my lamb ahead of time? Oh, it's over here. It's hanging out. Oh, I can smell. Oh my gosh. You guys have to see this. Look at this. These are bigger pieces that we did. You can do bigger, smaller. Can you guys see this? Let's get a close up, Richard.
Come on.
Those are perfect. All right, you can see the lamb juice that's just coming out. I'm going to pour a little bit of that in my aioli.
Chef Joel, can you tell us about resting and why? Is it really important? Is it a myth? What's the deal with resting?
Resting is paramount. And what that means by resting, what we say by that is, after you cook the lamb, it needs time to relax, for the juices to settle, and for the actual muscle itself to just get a little bit soft. So typically you want to rest for about half as long as you cook. So if you cook these beautiful pieces of lamb for about 10 minutes, you want to let it rest for about 5 minutes, and so forth. So that's kind of the deal with resting. These have been resting for a long period of time. We temped about. I'm going to put them on our board. And what you want to look for here is you want to look for the grain. And the grain is the little lines that are kind of moving on the lamb leg itself. So this is moving this way, right? It's different than where the char marks are. So don't follow the char marks. Look for the grain. They're like little lines. And you'll see them. And I'm just going to put a little fork in there, and I'm just going to start to kind of shave this down. Look at this. I mean, that looks out of control. And when I cut a beautiful leg of lamb like this, I'm kind of using long strokes, right? I'm not kind of sawing at it. I'm not going this, right? It's long, confident strokes. And just kind of giving these really beautiful slices. You can see it is rosy pink throughout, gorgeous, juicy, tender. This is a lamb leg like none other. How good does this look? This looks so good. Oh my gosh, this is my dream. This is my dream. And again, we talk about it. There's a lot of lamb out there. Important to make sure we're looking local, we're going American raised, and supporting these ranchers who give us this unbelievable cut of meat. Oh, look at that. I'm just gonna kind of hold that up for a sec because you guys gotta just see what this looks like. I mean, that is everything. That's life right there. Oh, gorgeous, absolutely stunning. So at this point, to finish off this sandwich, and it's so easy and so quick, our bread is just lightly grilled, a little toasted, but still fluffy in the middle. I'm going to grab a little bit of this aioli, and I'm just going to go right on both sides. And you almost want it like spilling out. Every last little bit. I used to work at a sandwich stand, and they would say, juice it up. Whenever you put some sort of, slather on there, juice it up. Make sure it's super juicy, which this one is. By the way, I'm going to kill the heat here at this point and just let our lamb finish. Then I'm going to take some of these peppers, and I'm just going to go on one side with the peppers. These are sweet bell peppers. These aren't spicy, so you can kind of overdo them. And again, sweetness with local lamb is everything. Look how good that looks already. Then I've got some of Karina's red leaf lettuce. And this is almost to protect the bread so the juices don't go too much in, and it just adds a little brightness right into the sandwich, right? And then you take a little bit of this gorgeous hot honey lamb, and you just kind of lay it on. I mean, this is everything. Little hat on top. And then I want to cut into this so you guys can kind of see the cross section here. But this is what we're talking about. You can see that lamb is just bursting, and it is just layered and again, a just total dream. And you serve these, some cold beverages outside, throw around the football, hang out, kids are running in the sprinkler. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. That is why we're all here. Let's do one more shot here, close up, so you guys can see layers. And honestly, the sauce, the lettuce, the peppers, all that is optional. This hot honey leg of lamb is where it's at. That is the dream. So I'll take a bite of that in a sec, but let's just try the lamb itself. I'm just gonna cut a little piece because I want to describe what I'm getting. It's unreal. It's so deep in flavor. It's so different. I always say this with our classes. So many of us are so used to eating beef or pork or chicken. When you have lamb, you can do any of those recipes. You can replace any of those proteins with gorgeous local lamb, and it just takes it to a completely different dimension. It's something that it's unexpected. Lamb has its own vibe, and it works every single time, and it works in every case, whether you're doing skewers, like I said, a ragu, you're making a beautiful soup. Local lamb is the best. Now, a leg of lamb is usually chewy, right? Because unless you cook it for a long period of time, you got to break down that muscle. But because we marinated it, a little bit of that rosemary, that garlic, and that red wine vinegar, this is supple, this is buttery, and it's just melting in my mouth. All right, speaking of which, I'm going to try this sandwich. I need a moment.
All right, while you take your moment, I'm just going to remind everyone that Lamb Jam might be coming through your city. Check it out, Homemade 20% off your ticket.
That's right. We talked about lamb in Seattle, Lamb Jam in Seattle, but it is across the country. I can't stop eating. This is the problem with good lamb. It's game over. Like Mike said, we're across the country, Boston, Seattle. Where else is it going?
San Francisco. We have someone in the chat who's going to Lamb Jam in San Francisco.
Nice.
And I think there was one more. Let me check it out. They're still going to show up in Denver as well
and
in
Boston,
August.
which I'm flying to Boston tomorrow. I love it. Again, if you're in Seattle or just looking for an excuse to come to Seattle and hang out with us and eat gorgeous, amazing American lamb, that is July 30th. Again, 20% off if you use the code HOMEMADE20. That's HOMEMADE20. You guys, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. It's a grind, but we love being a dad. I mean, there's nothing better than raising some kids and getting them close to their food. They love grilling with me, making pancakes with me, getting in the kitchen, rolling pasta, getting dirty. So happy Father's Day to all the dads raising young kiddos out there or older kiddos who've been through it all. I have a lot to learn. But I can tell you one thing. Whenever my wife asks me what I want to do on Father's Day, the answer is always, I want to cook. I want to bring people together. I want to spend it with the people I love. And hopefully this inspires you to get around the table, eat some gorgeous local American lamb, and do it in a way that I think people will absolutely adore. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next Fan of Lamb, where we are making a stuffed oreja. This is unlike anything you've ever seen. We use ground lamb, and we actually stick it inside a little tortilla kind of pita deal. It is so. Am I saying it right? Oreja? I've never made them before.
Orejas.
Orejas. It's going to be such a fun class, and that's coming up July 9th. So we'll see you there. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care and happy cooking. See you soon.